How to measure communication. We discussed before that workplace communication is mostly meetings, either in person or digital, personal or group, in-house or remote staff, and then the trainings, conferences, and business correspondence through emails and social media. All these overlap with who the audience is in each case, either subordinates, line managers, or colleagues, or a completely different paradigm of external communication with stakeholders. The bottom line to evaluate the success of any of these communications is the reason why you communicated in the first place. That is the purpose. Whether it's for sharing or seeking information, discussing a challenge that is causing delays, or resolving a conflict. With so many variables at play, it becomes crucial to define on what grounds are we going to evaluate if we have communicated successfully, and those are the metrics. Foremostly, this requires clearly defined expected outcomes of the communication or the result you want to achieve. Without this definition in place, the measurement remains vague and is often left to subjective judgment, where each stakeholder or participant of that communication process will end up perceiving things as suits them best. For instance, you have a personal meeting with a subordinate 3 days after he commits an error. Your reason is to help him realize a shortcoming in his technical skills and how he can improve it. So the success of your communication will be rated upon the actual improvement seen in the subordinate's performance over the next month. Or you urgently request your line manager and teammates for a group meeting. You want to share news on some crisis that needs urgent attention and a few immediate steps by an authority figure. So the result of this communication will be your manager calling on some other department, requesting them to extend support within the next few hours, and the success will be the crisis being resolved within the estimated time frame. Or everyone in the office receives an email from HR after a week of getting complaints about free smoking within the office domain. The email informs every staff not to smoke in the office area anymore, or they will face penalty. The success of this communication is the achievement of a total non-smoking zone right from the next hour of receiving this email. If the smoking problem resumes after a few days, the communication was a failure and needs revision on which factor needs to be changed. You see, in all these instances, the result is concrete and specific to be undertaken through a certain communication channel, such as face-to-face, phone call, or email, and involves a certain timeline, such as a month, 24 hours, or 1 hour. And all this is done while involving a few actors, which can be an individual, a department, or the whole staff. So the communication channel, the audience, the context of what you're communicating on, and the timing are the value of your communication. Now, timing is when the communication takes place, like after 3 days or within that hour or after a week, and also the time period given to evaluate the result. All these values have to be in sync with the expected outcomes and require a detailed analysis or exploration of each of these factors, like who your audience is and what do they know, the tone of your communication best suited to context, the best time to make that communication, and the most effective timeline to evaluate the result, and whether one time or periodic.